Well, obviously, it was a really good win for our team. We were down 5 runs, after 1 inning, and they did a good job against Wicklander. The zone was really tight tonight, and he got behind in the count. They did a good job putting the barrel on the ball, but obviously our offense, chipped away with a couple of big 2-run homers, and just enough to get us back. But the pitching held them down. The bullpen was outstanding, and then I thought the middle of our order did a great job. Wallace, Slavens, Moore drove in 3 runs, and got us a good win.
Hutch, start us off, please. Speak up. We have a wedding going on behind us.
Gotcha. Dave, Kopps had to work quite a bit tonight. I think he finished with 66 pitches. What did you think of his performance?
Well, any close pitches, he didn't get them. It just seemed like, and maybe it went both ways to a certain extent, but he had to work hard for that tonight. Tennessee did a nice job of laying off some borderline pitches. Umpire wasn't calling them. They battled and fouled off a lot of pitches. He got his pitch count up, but and again, I say this a lot, but I think Kevin would tell you that he didn't have his best stuff tonight. We could see it, but he had just enough, and he had a lot of heart, a lot of guts out there, and finished that game for us.
And Kopps gets a lot of the attention, but I think the few times Monke has pitched, he's done really well. What do you think about how he's pitched lately, and specifically today?
Well, Caden, gave us a chance. We brought him in off Wicklander, struggling there. I think he had got 1 out in the 3rd inning. We went and got Caden, and he came in and gave us 3+ innings. It's one of his longer outings, if not his longest outing, and gave us an opportunity, to get to the 7th. Got us through the 6th, and we felt like if we could, score a run or two to win the game with Kevin coming in and have a good outing, and that's what ended up happening.
Tom?
Dave, you guys have been down 5 a few times this year. I'm wondering, the mentality that you have to be able to come back.
Yeah, the mentality for our team is, it's strong. I mean, as far as they believe they can come back. And, the situation was we still had 8 at-bats. And playing at a ballpark that's not real big and right, and wind was lightly blowing out, and ball get out of the park. We knew that we could get back in the game if we could hold them a little bit. And I just felt like we took some really good swings at Dallas in the 1st inning. We didn't score, but he didn't strike us out in the 1st inning. And thinking, man, we're going to get this guy. And then they punched in 5, and it was really big for us to score there in the 2nd. And I think we got the leadoff man on, and then Robert got the count to 3-1. Got him a fastball, and he hammered it. And all of a sudden it's 5-2. And you could tell that the momentum swung a little bit our way, and our guys definitely believed that they could come back.
Okay, and then the Slavens home run, can you just talk about it? It happened after that break to review a play, and it was opposite field shot. And then if you could, he said their reliever, Hundley, guys weren't seeing him very well and all. That was the only hit you guys got off of him too.
Yeah, had the close pickoff play with 2 outs. Slavens at bat with like a 1-2, 0-2 count on him, and they decided that they asked for a review, called him safe. It took about 6-7 minutes, probably the total, maybe 5 or 6 minutes before he threw the next pitch. And I think the very first pitch, he tried to get him with a changeup, and he left it up in the zone. And Brady stayed to it, and just back spun it, and really drove it out of the park opposite field. And all of a sudden, we're down 1 run. And we felt like that we had a really good opportunity to win the game. And then, as far as Hundley, so when he came in, and he was a little difficult to pick up, but it was at that time of night too. It was really difficult to see their 6th, 7th, 8th, 7th, and 6th and 7th inning. I would say just the way the sun was going down, and it was tough. I think it was tough on both teams, honestly. But he was difficult to pick up, it looked like, and our guys were talking about it.
Matt?
Thought one of the big moments in the game was Lips just had a 15 pitch at bat against Kevin to end the 7th inning. He got out of it. Then Slavens came back with his hit, I think, on the next pitch of the 8th. How big of a turning point did you feel like that was in the game?
Well, I know a team was really excited about it. And then Slavens hits, I don't know, the first or second pitch down the right field line for a double. And obviously we're thinking we got to score this run. We've got to score this run with Kevin out there. He's using a lot of pitches. And, then I think the pitcher and the catcher got crossed up. I think he was expecting an off-speed pitch, and he drilled him with a fastball, went to the backstop. We got a runner at third, nobody out. And then Franklin hits a line drive about 100+ miles an hour, and third baseman catches it. And kind of think, wow. And then Robert did a great job of, driving the ball to the wall. If he had pulled it another 15 feet to the right, we probably would have got out of the park. But we had the lead, and that was the main thing. It was a big play.
And then you said Kevin didn't have his best stuff, but he got out of that jam. He got out of the one the next inning with Liam Spence on a 3-2 pitch. Just the key pitches that he made tonight. What did you think of those?
Well, I didn't hear everything you said right there. I just didn't hear you.
Basically, how he got out of the 7th and 8th innings. You said he didn't have his best stuff, but he still was able to make the big pitches. What did you think of him in those key moments?
No, I mean, I mentioned it earlier. I thought his stuff was not his best, and he just gutted it up. He pitched on a lot of heart and toughness, and he just kept fighting him out there. And, he made a few good pitches, though, but he just didn't make as many as normal. And then there were some pitches that we thought were in the zone, and so did Casey back there. I mean, you could tell by the way Casey was acting and body language, and umpire wasn't giving him to him. I mean, Kevin's ball's cutting and diving, and it does it late a lot of times. And I just think he gave up on some of them. They were in the zone. And if they weren't up, they weren't up. And if they were over the plate, they were strikes. And I don't know why he didn't call them.
Nate?
Just how important for tomorrow to get at least 5 or more out of Paulette with the relief situation the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, we know that, and Peyton needs to give us a really good ball game tomorrow. And we play at noon. It's going to be sunny and windy, and ball's going to travel. And they're throwing a left-hander, throws a lot of strikes. We need to do a good job against him, but our starting pitching, they need to give us some innings. The bullpen pitched more than the starters did tonight. Both of them did. So, tomorrow's the day that we really need that starter to step up and give us 5+.
Who do you look for out of the pen just after using Monke and Kopps today?
Well, I think that the Tuesday night ball game has given some confidence to some guys on the way they threw, gives confidence to the team, and then to the coaches what we saw. I mean, there's 4 or 5 guys that threw the other night that we can bring in, whether it's Vermillion or whoever. I mean, we've got some guys. Lockhart, I thought, threw well, 2 innings, and those guys are going to have to step up and get it done in the next couple of days.
Thanks.
Andrew Ellis?
Hey, Coach, you played in some big ballparks this year, some of the best in the league. With some of them had a good bit of fans. How would you compare tonight's atmosphere with the full capacity to some of those, like Mississippi State?
Yeah, it's a different feel here because the stands are so high. It's kind of an old school. So we don't hear them as much as you do when they're ground level, like our ballpark or, Mississippi State. We don't hear them quite as much, at least in the dugout. On the field, the guy said it was loud and the atmosphere was really good. I think they've done a nice job here with creating some good atmosphere, the way they run the music and different things. They got the crowd really involved. Yeah, it was good.
Hutch, come back around. Last one.
Yeah, Dave, obviously Slavens had the opposite field home run. He also had another fly out to the opposite field. Several other guys, it seemed like, went the opposite way. Was that part of the game plan, or is it just kind of how it happens?
Well, they do pitch away a lot, especially when they're ahead in the count. They don't come in too much. I mean, I think about the pitch that Robert hit out of the park. It was a 3-1 fastball. It was probably in the middle of the plate, but they don't come in a whole lot. And, just watching them and scouting reports and, you've got to stay through the middle of the field. And that's what our guys try to do.
All right, Tom, last one, please.
All right. Dave, I believe you've won the first game in every road series this year. How big is that for you?
Well, it's been big, obviously, because we end up winning series, and played some really good teams on the road, you know, the Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Tennessee now, South Carolina on the road. I mean, we played good people on the road and with good pitchers and ranked teams. And, you know, we found a way to win on Friday. And, you know, so it's been big. You know, it takes a little bit of heat off of you, but you still haven't won the series. You still got a lot of work to do. And our guys know that.